Here is a brand new IP for Super 7's ReAction Plus. It is Back to the Future. And the first thing I've got to wonder is ReAction Plus gonna turn into like ReAction? For however many years, they've been doing all these different IPs in the ReAction 5 POA 1/18 scale. Is ReAction Plus the next thing? Are we about to see over the next however many years a plethora, a pile, a ton of individually unique IPs in the ReAction Plus line? Are we going to get O-ring action figures that we never thought we'd ever get? And actually, too bad we didn't get back in the 80s and the 90s. I don't know, but I'm here for it. So the first wave includes Marty McFly from 1955, Doc Brown from 1985, and Marty McFly from 1985. And each figure comes with a single accessory. If you're somebody who likes to keep figures on cards, I think these actually look really pretty cool the way they are. These cards are about the same size as the ReAction Plus G.I. Joe figures to give you a visual or a mental idea of how big these cards are. I'm going to go ahead and flip this one around so you can see what the back of it looks like. They all look the same. They have Back to the Future in big bold letters. Well, it's the logo. And they have the 3-figure cross-sell. Otherwise, at the very bottom, it's nothing exciting. It's just kind of boring stuff. So let's get these figures off the card. Here they are off the card, and these figures are glorious. And I will tell you why I think that in just a moment. But first, I need to address probably a big elephant in the room, and it's something I've seen talked about online probably ever since these figures were shown off in prototype form back in Toy Fair 2025, and that is these don't look like the actors. And I agree, these don't look like the actors. Maybe if you squint your eyes and you take your glasses off, if you wear glasses, or I don't know, if you do some funny things, pour some water in your eyes, you might see a hint of a resemblance, but it's going to be difficult, and I agree with that. However, my disclaimer for this review is that doesn't bother me. I think these look cool and fun, and I think they are wonderfully inspired by that original source material, and that doesn't bother me that they are not 100%, okay, they're not even 25% like the actors. It doesn't bother me at all. If that really bothers you, then you might not want to keep watching, but I'm going to go over I'm going to do a review based off of that. So I just want to make sure y'all know that my happiness and positivity, where that's coming from. It's because I actually like these things. I like what they're representing. Now, wow, that was loud. Sorry. Let's get in and take a look at these figures. There are some things that are really neat on these figures that we haven't seen Super 7 do with ReAction Plus. The first is painted rivets. And just as I said that, I realize that the monster figures have painted rivets as well. So I think Monsters and Back to the Future are the first ones with these painted rivets, and that's been a request from the community, from the online, or from the G.I. Joe ReAction Plus group of people, whoever you are, that have wanted that for quite a while. These figures are also more detailed. So we're going to begin looking at Marty 1985. And this figure is, I would say, probably the craziest because it portrays Marty having 4 layers of torso fabric pretty well. He has this red, is it red or orange t-shirt? Underneath, he has this white striped shirt, button shirt. Above that, he has, I guess, a blue light jacket or a blue shirt on top of that. And then he has his orange vest, or is it life preserver? He's got 4 layers, and that seems crazy. He's got, as far as I can tell, 1 layer for his pants, the jeans. But this figure is pretty detailed. I mean, for what we've seen from Super 7's ReAction Plus line, there are wrinkles, there are creases. The jeans are pretty straight because, I mean, there's some wrinkling here on the side, but generally they're smooth. And look at this. You have a silver button on his jeans. That's a small little paint detail, and that's kind of cool. The shoes have a little bit of a red paint detail. And the next biggest thing that people have wanted from ReAction Plus is the ability to move your head back and forth, like up and down. And these figures can do that. And they can probably do them the best of any figures thus far. G.I. Joe, it was introduced with G.I. Joe recently. But look how far down his head can go. That's a fair amount of range there. He can look down either way. It's crazy. Because we knew you could do it, Super 7. We all knew you knew how to. It's not a question of did you know how to or anything. This is great. I mean, hopefully they're going to use this technology from the Back to the Future figures for everything else going forward. Although I was a little bit disappointed after discovering that these figures have that, having these monster figures with just side to side. So if I remember right, Super7 did an interview. I think it's Brian Flynn did the interview, and he talked about articulation points were dependent on the type of figure. So it could be that some going forward might not have this. It's just silly. Create the standard thing and just go forward and make us all happy. Beyond that, he has a standard articulation for O-ring 3 3/4, 1/18 scale O-ring action figures. If you want him to sit, he can sit. He can bend. He can bend the knees and sit. He can stretch out his legs and sit. His arms rotate all around. They have a hinge. Biceps have a rotation. Elbows have a hinge. And you saw the head. I don't need to explain. He's got the O-ring in the middle, which allows for all sorts of fun O-ring articulation goodness. He comes with one accessory, and that is this skateboard here. This would be a disappointment to me, but maybe, I don't know, what do I want more? This nice little painted button, which I could do without, or wheels that rolled. These wheels are static. They don't move. They are just molded together. There is no little pin between the yellow wheels. They don't go anywhere. They just do that. Which I guess if you're going to display this figure on a shelf, that works just fine. I don't know how to display someone on a skateboard, so we'll do something like that because that's 80s rockin', right? I don't know. But yeah, so I don't know. I could do that, but it's going to really scrape that paint up after a while. Wheels would be awesome. So maybe in the future we'll get a skateboard with wheels. Hint, hint, Super7. Hint, hint. All right, now jumping over to Doc Brown. Actually, I'm just going to say this right now. As I was unboxing him, I kind of looked at this figure. I was like, he almost makes me think of Tommy Lee Jones. I know we're not really talking about the whole actor appearance and everything, but just for fun, drop in the comment what actor you think this looks like. Because it's not Christopher Lloyd, but almost makes me think of Tommy Lee Jones. Did they pay him for likeness? I doubt it. So Doc Brown also has a bit of detail on him. You flip him around. The hair is amazing. I like the weaves all through it. He's got this hazmat nuclear symbol thing on his back. And by the way, I will point out, I didn't mention on Marty, that he's got a hole in his back. So they could put some backpacks in the future. I didn't bring a backpack to try it because I didn't realize they had a hole there. He's got his tool belt here, which has got red and silver and orange, which is pretty neat. He's got little orange bits on the pants, and you can see a little black cuff of the legs with his brown shoes and a green shirt hiding underneath the overalls. And then up here on his chest pocket is a little silver clip. And I can't remember if that was in the movie. I'm sure it must be. It's a detail there. And I think it might be holding paper, which is white. So it's just, and the silver buckle, a little tiny silver buckle. Super7 is going to spoil us with some of these little details, I swear. But don't expect it to stick around, I'll just say. Let's look at his head nod. Let's get him to stay straight. His head nod. Yeah, isn't that nice? He's looking down. He's looking over. And he's looking over. And now he's looking up at you. So, same thing, bending the knees. He can sit. These ones, actually, I am noticing that their legs spread just a little bit when you bring the legs all the way up. I don't know if that's good or bad. I can't remember if the old G.I. Joes did that or not. Rotation and hinge at the shoulder, rotation and hinge at the elbow and the bicep, and the O-ring goodness in the middle. And that's your Doc Brown. His accessory is this little remote control that wirelessly controls, like RC cars, the DeLorean. Which I'm just going to say right now, Super7, if anyone at your company is watching, please give us a DeLorean. Please make a DeLorean that's appropriate, that will actually fit these figures. Unlike another company making an Ecto-1 where the Ghostbusters can't even fit in that thing. Please make us an appropriate, I know it's going to probably be like $80 or something, but it's smaller, right? The controller is cool, except there are some fragile bits. Set him over here. And I did notice these fragile bits while I was opening this up. So you see the little knobs sticking out. Those are not hard, those are soft. And these can be bent and they can be broken off. I didn't break any off, but I bent this one down quite a bit. And I realized that and I gently moved it back up. And this is a pretty, that's almost like a fidget toy. But anyway, I would have almost suggested they put a peg back here so you could have pegged this onto his back. I know it's not a backpack, but that would have been a great place to store it because you can't really put the controller in his hands. If you want to stretch out the C grip here, then yes, you will go ahead and attempt to slide this thing in without bending those knobs, and then you will leave it there for a long time, and that will stretch out that hand. He'll be able to hold it, but he won't be able to hold like anything else until you squeeze them back together. But that is Doc Brown from 1985. I kind of hope with all these dates behind the names that we are going to be getting, well, others with Wave 2 and 3. I don't know. I wonder how popular these have been. Here we have Marty from 1955, back when he was strumming his guitar on the stage, trying to get his parents to fall in love, or was it kiss? Something like that. What my kids years ago would have said, ew, gross. So anyway, he comes with this guitar. We're going to look at the guitar first as the accessory. This has like a fake leather strap, so it's very bendable, pliable. It's very nice and easy to move and just tuck around. I don't know guitar terminology, so let's just call, is this like the handle, the neck, whatever this thing is called right here. It is a little bit bendy. The guitar is a little bit bendy also, but because it's thicker, it's not as bad. But it's got some detail. Look at the gold on there and the black. It's got some stuff. This has got that thing there. I don't know guitars. So I don't think I need to know guitars to talk about action figures. I probably should know about action figures, which I sometimes don't know about action figures either. But you can slide that in, and it's a little bit difficult to get into the right position, I would say. Because, well, for one thing, I'm having a difficult time just getting it in his hand. Kind of twisting it around. It's like not working now. You're probably going to need to stretch the hand out again. And that just kind of looks bad. That looks bad. Who plays a guitar like that? Nobody, because you can't. So let's look at the figure. The figure is dressed in a brown suit coat, black suit pants, and white tipped shoes. And he's also got a few little details, like a silver tie holder and a silver belt buckle. Just a few of those strange little things that just make this, I don't know, make this feel just a little bit, this is almost collector level. I mean, not quite, but almost. I'm not used to seeing Super7 do some of this kind of stuff, at least with the ReAction Plus. The exact same head as far as I can tell. Let's actually do a quick comparison here. Yeah. Looks like the same head, which is nice. The head bobs down, nods down, whatever, looks down. Not quite as far. I think this is a little bit tighter, but it does move, does twist and shout. Same thing. Sit, 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 sit. Shoulder rotation and hinge, bicep and elbow rotation and hinge. And let's see. He can't quite do the splits. Doesn't he do the splits also, like at the end? Yeah, like that's the split. Oh man, if they could have like trimmed some things so you could do the split thing. I don't know, maybe this was what he did. I'm gonna have to watch those movies again, aren't I? He definitely can't split that way. That's not a good thing. But yeah, Marty, 1955. It's just another nice generic little figure. You can use these figures just as generic characters if you want. I know they might be a little expensive for just, generic characters. I'm going to stand them way back here. But you could. I mean, you've got a suit guy. You got a mad scientist guy. And you've got a kid guy. I don't know. Just someone from the Navy. We'll call him from the Navy. So here is a G.I. Joe I keep saying all the words. G.I. Joe ReAction Plus. Here's a Micronauts. Sorry, totally blanked ReAction Plus. So you can see other ReAction Plus figures. We've got Dracula in the room, which he's actually shorter than Marty. Wow, That's a short Dracula. Look at that. I'm disappointed. I thought Vlad over here would be taller. We're going to bring in Hasbro's Ghostbusters because why not? It's from that same era. We need a Michael Knight. Come on, Super 7. Make us a Michael Knight. Wow. Egon. Is Egon actually shorter? No, really? That can't be. Hasbro, you're doing us wrong. Besides all the other wrongs. But anyway. Wow. That's pitiful. I guess we're not going to be putting, man, we can't put those figures together. Get rid of you. Sorry, Egon, you're out of here. Maybe they made them those figures smaller. Here's Celila from Void Rivals. She doesn't look too bad. I mean, yeah, she looks pretty good. We'll get this guy out of here. Let's go classic. Here's a classic Battle Armor Cobra Commander, my #1 favorite Cobra Commander. Yeah, I'm almost thinking that these Back to the Future figures are maybe just a little bit taller than all these others. This is a Triple T Leatherneck from the Transformers crossover world. Here is a Skeletron. Is it Skeletron? I think it's Skeletron, right? Skeletron from Skeletron and Callsign Longbow. He looks shorter too. Wolf Trooper from Zaka Toys. I thought he was always a little bit taller than everyone else, and it looks like he fits in pretty good. Just knock him around here. And my favorite from Delta 17, it is Thunder Battalion. And Creature from the Black Lagoon really wants to get in here because he keeps sliding on over. So let's put him next. And hey, he's actually pretty good. Where's Dracula? Look at that. Dracula is even shorter than Creature from the Black Lagoon, and Creature is about the same size. So yeah, there you go. Height comparisons for these figures. I think these are pretty neat figures. I like the detail. I like the direction it looks like Super 7 is going with ReAction Plus. And a lot of little features, painted things, more articulation, little details, more design. I don't know. Whatever you want to call it. I think we're starting to get that, and that's really awesome. And that's one of the reasons I think these figures are glorious, because they seem to be going forward in a good direction that we all knew they knew how to do. They're just now finally doing it. So anyway, thank you for sticking around and watching this crazy review of a video. If you liked it at all, please click on the video in the bottom left corner because YouTube thinks you want to watch it next, and it will help the channel grow.